breathtaking giant truck. Not every road is waiting with a flat and easy surface. Some places are slippery hillsides. Some places are muddy swamps that swallow the wheels. Some places are cold, hard ice and snow. And some places only need one curve to challenge the driver. Now, let's see which trucks are strong enough to carry timber through every harsh condition. If you enjoy heavy-duty journeys like this, stay with Extreme Engine and comment number 1 to begin. The Steel Beast, International Paystar 5600I, is carrying out its own expedition. With a Cummins ISX engine producing 500 horsepower and around 1,850 pound-feet of torque, it was built for heavy-duty logging transport. The heavy-duty 6x4 Paystar configuration can reach a gross weight of more than 35 tons. Now, all that power is being tested on a muddy uphill climb right at the toughest corner of the forest road. Behind it, massive logs are stacked high, pressing straight down on the chassis and rear axle. Each wheel almost has to bite deep into the mud to find traction. At this moment, 500 horsepower alone is not enough. The driver must keep the throttle steady, choose the right steering angle, and never lose momentum halfway up the slope. Just one wrong slip, and the heavy log load behind could pull the truck backward. Slowly, heavily, but fully under control. In the middle of a wet forest, a machine quietly carves its way through thick mud. From a distance, it looks like it's barely crawling forward inch by inch. But inside it carries the pulling power of a 170 horsepower forwarder built to gather and transport heavy logs. With a load capacity of around 12 tons, it can haul an entire compartment of timber behind it. This is the Valmet 840.3, a machine that doesn't need perfect roads to prove its worth. Getting in is already hard, but getting out is 10 times harder. The mud almost swallows each wheel hole. Behind it, a massive load of timber drags the entire machine down into the ground. Every wheel rotation has to crush through the mud, find traction, and climb out of deep ruts. Yet the tougher it gets, the more the Valmet 840.3 reveals its true grit. Even when the path feels like a test from above, it stubbornly pushes forward, and in the end, it makes it through. Right after the muddy section comes a new challenge, a slope of nearly 30 degrees. A Ponce machine appears not loud, but full of raw power. With around 286 horsepower and a load capacity of about 14 to 15 tons, it's built for heavy work. Even though it runs on wheels, protective tracks help it grip firmly on the steep terrain. But the greatest pressure doesn't come during the climb. The real test begins on the way down. The entire load of timber behind it shifts its force forward. One wrong move on the brakes, and the machine could slide under the weight of its own cargo. The direct rival of the Ponce Buffalo is the Komatsu 895 with G88H grapple. The similarity between these two machines is that both were built to collect, grab, and transport logs deep inside the forest. Both use rubber tires, articulated frames, and hydraulic cranes to work on difficult terrain. But the difference lies in load capacity. While the Ponce Buffalo produces around 286 horsepower and carries about 14 to 15 tons of wood, the Komatsu 895 also reaches around 287 horsepower, but can carry up to 20 tons. The G88H grapple helps it hold larger log bundles more firmly faster and with more heavy-duty force. Ponsiu Buffalo is flexible and compact, but Komatsu 895 feels like a giant built to carry heavier loads. When it enters the Old Forest, this is not just log transport. This is a real battle of power load capacity and true efficiency. The modified farm truck is trying to pull a mountain of wood up the steep slope. Its original engine was around 13 horsepower, but it has been upgraded to 28 horsepower. The wood load on the trailer is estimated at 2.5 tons. Heavy load, steep ground, and messy terrain are all fighting against it. But without the stubborn effort of this truck, that amount of wood could not be pulled up so high. Impressive, isn't it? If you are impressed, leave the word impressive in the comments below. That will give us more motivation to make the next videos. Witnessing the skidder struggling through the thick, muddy terrain, one truly appreciates the marvels of modern engineering. With a diesel engine producing up to 300 horsepower and a maximum torque exceeding 1,300 Newton meters, this machine weighing over 20 tons relentlessly advances like an unstoppable beast. Its massive self-cleaning tires are key to its unwavering grip, transforming even the most treacherous swamps into its own playground. Get ready for a display of extreme power from this logging truck as it tackles a daunting challenge. Steep, muddy, and slippery terrain makes even experienced drivers wary. A small mistake could have devastating consequences. The engine roars with power. The wheels spin steadily, conquering the seemingly endless slope. This video is proof of the skill and unwavering spirit of those in this profession. Not every forest job needs giant, heavy-duty machines. For small-scale forestry needs, the Woodland Mills log. Lander is a very practical choice. This log arch is pulled by an ATV in front, helping lift one end of the log off the ground. That makes log pulling easier, reduces ground damage, and allows better movement through narrow forest areas. It does not have overwhelming power, but it is compact, economical, and extremely useful. So where will those massive logs be transported next? After arriving at the woodyard, they enter the stage of being shredded into biomass material. In front of you is the Petzolato PTH 1400, a drum chipper monster. The machine is powered by a 1,150 horsepower Cat engine, creating an extremely overwhelming chipping force. The wide infeed opening swallows large bundles of wood from the hydraulic grapple. Inside the giant drum and heavy-duty knife system, tear the wood into a steady fit and continuous stream of chips. The front conveyor collects the material, while the discharge chute blasts the wood chips out like a powerful waterfall. From heavy tree trunks, it turns everything into material for energy heating and industrial production. This is mechanical power used to regenerate the value of wood. Others are transported to wood factories to produce pallet wood and construction boards. Here, rough wooden pieces are no longer handled like raw material from the forest. They are sent through a continuous line of cutting, sawing, aligning, and surface leveling. Each saw blade passes through, removing the excess parts and creating boards with more even dimensions. Qualified pieces are collected to make pallets for transporting goods. Another portion becomes construction boards used for workshops, building projects, and industrial production. From rough tree trunks, the wood slowly turns into material with clearer practical value. Neater, stronger, and ready to enter a new life cycle. This is insane. When the large logs have been removed from the ground, the work is still not finished. What remains behind are the stubborn stumps, rooted deep and blocking the path. This is when the Carlton SP7015 steps onto its own stage, destroying the toughest stumps all by itself. A professional stump grinder with an engine of around 165 horsepower. That power is sent straight to the large cutting wheel, helping it bite deep into every remaining layer of wood. Instead of digging by hand, the SP7015 grinds the stump right on site into small mulch. Faster, cleaner, and with a smoother work area. That is the final step to turn a messy piece of land into a path ready for the next job. A small portion of this remaining wood, especially wood that does not handle moisture well or stay stable under sun, and rain will not be used for board production. It is often kept by households and split into firewood for winter heating. And this is when the VAKRA 500HK appears. It is not a small, ordinary log splitter, but an automatic firewood splitter mounted on a tractor or loader. The machine does not have its own horsepower engine. Instead, it takes power from the hydraulic system of the pulling vehicle. With around 200 bar of pressure and 50 liters per minute of oil flow, it can create about 12 tons of splitting force. It can handle logs up to 50 centimeters in diameter and around 4 meters long. Then it cuts and splits them into firewood pieces from 25 to 58 centimeters long. One operator, one machine, and a pile of rough wood can quickly become neat firewood for heating. Smaller than large industrial production lines, but extremely practical for households and small wood workshops. In the final scene, we meet another machine that leaves the audience amazed. It is the ASVRT-120 Forestry, equipped with a TMC cancella, forestry mulcher, with around 120 horsepower strong rubber tracks and a powerful hydraulic system. It does not just move, it almost destroys or outdoes everything standing in front of it. Every bush, small stump, and thick layer of vegetation is pulled into the mulching head, shredded apart, and returned to the ground as a new layer of mulch. This is not meaningless, noisy power. This is how machinery turns a messy forest area into a clean, organized surface ready for the next job. It is truly amazing to see steel hydraulics and engine power working together with such precision. If you are also impressed by this journey, leave comment number 3 below. That will motivate Extreme Engine to bring you even more powerful machines in the next video.